be our protection against the wickedness and snares of the devil we see in the form of inconsistent football play. May you, Lord Lombardi, rebuke it, we humbly pray. And do thou, O Prince of the heavenly end zone and the Packers sweep, thrust yourself into hell with Satan himself, and rid his evil ways in the form of drop passes and shitty tackling, missed blocks and poor special team play. Rid it at once, we pray. We are strong, and this evil we see before our eyes on the gridiron will not ruin our pure pack of souls. It is nothing but a test that we will pass. Amen.
Rop, 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 rop.
I don't know what that means.
Complicated. That's a great shirt.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 7? Is it 7?
Or what's our record? 3 and 3?
3 and 3.
7.
So this would be the 7th week of breaking down the game. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for all the great comments people are leaving. Please remember to subscribe, like, and comment. We want to continue to do more of this, and it sure as heck is a lot of fun to have people from all over the world communicate with us. Anyway, Isles, there is nothing good to say this week, so let's get to it.
Okay.
I want to talk about the Jets game, and I want to brush on the archaic NFL. And what I mean by archaic NFL is I am sick and tired of the broadcast rules that the NFL has in place. And the reason I'm bringing this up right now is because I didn't get a chance to see the game on TV. And I don't want people commenting, oh, just get this direct TV. Forget that. I'm not getting direct TV. In any case, Isles, I want to start with you and first say, hey, how are you doing, bud?
I'm doing shitty, to be honest. I mean, how can we be doing good? Things are not good right now. So
that's right.
Yeah.
We're recording this on a Monday, so we're still really salty about Sunday.
Yeah.
I want to get your thoughts on the Jets game quickly, Isles. What did you think about our squad?
Our squad was terrible, actually. I felt like every facet of the game was terrible. I mean, not much to say there. They were just special teams had obviously big mistakes. Defense can't tackle, and they're letting the Jets run up and down the field. Offense was dismal. There was nothing there. It was a horrible, horrible game. Yeah, nothing good to say. What about you?
Yeah. As I just mentioned earlier, I didn't get a chance to see the game in Minneapolis. They had the stupid Vikings on, and I'm not going to illegally stream the games. I'm not going to get streams from frickin' Russia or China. I don't know what the hell those streams are doing or what the type of fuckulation they might be doing on my devices.
Yeah,
I refuse to do that.
That's the thing is like nowadays it's like every darn game that's on you have to figure out what streaming device I need to have. Like it's Thursday night, am I on Amazon Prime or where the hell am I tonight? Oh, I don't have NFL on Sunday morning. I can't watch that game. Green Bay's on at the same time as the Vikings and they're within the division. So because we live in a different state, I don't get to see them even though they're playing an AFC team. It's like frickin' rocket science trying to figure out where the hell I'm supposed to watch the game or when it's going to be on.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I'm sick and tired of every week trying to look at broadcast maps of where the game is going to be on TV, and they can change it at the last second. This is total bullshit. The NFL needs to get out of the 19th century. Let's get to the current times and get rid of all these archaic broadcast rules that they have. We have high-speed internet available almost in everyone's home nowadays in America. We should be able to pick and choose what games we want to see and be able to pay for those games.
I totally agree.
NFL's got to get their head out of their ass and do something about that.
Did DirecTV screw that all up when they bought the Sunday ticket years ago? I heard that they had like some long kind of commitment with the NFL, and then the whole world switched to streaming. So like, you have DirecTV now on your phone or whatever, and you can't get the streaming or the Sunday ticket. So It's BS.
It's total BS. And I'll tell you, for a time I had DirecTV and I did the Sunday ticket. And what I found was like there was only about 4 games of the whole year that I wouldn't be able to see the Packers.
Yeah.
I don't care about freaking Jacksonville against Indianapolis. I could care less about those types of games.
Yeah, I
I'm not
agree.
a bettor. I'm not heavy in fantasy football. I just want to see my team, right?
Yeah.
So I should be able to pick and choose what I want to see and be able to see it.
Yep.
You're right. The DirecTV Sunday Ticket app, where supposedly you can sign up for it and stream the games on a device, you try to sign up for it and it says, "Oh, you can't do that in your area."
Yeah, I know.
What the fuck is that about?
I know. I went through that same exact thing too. It's a shit show.
Yeah,
it is. It's a shit show. We should just move back to Wisconsin is what we should do. Problem solved.
Some days I really think we should.
Yep, I agree.
Although I honestly I do like it in the Minneapolis area. It's nice.
Yep.
But I'll also say I didn't get to see the Jets game because of that, and it sounds like it saved me some frustration and headache. I did listen to the game on the radio, and it just sounded awful.
Yeah,
it sounded awful. You could hear the boos through the radio broadcast. Larry McCarron was pointing out all the problems with the line, which
of course he does. Yeah,
but it was not good.
Yep. No,
I don't think we need to dwell on that too much more.
No, I don't want to.
That particular game because it was bullshit.
Yep. The wound is still fresh for me, so I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Badger lost too, which is like double pain. They're just a shit show.
Just a bad football weekend for Wisconsin.
Yep.
Terrible.
Yep.
So let's move on, bud.
All right.
I want to talk about, we're starting to get more people watching the show, and I want to continue to thank everyone for sharing this and bringing more people in because it's a lot of fun to do. So what we found is we got a fan video. I haven't had a chance to look at this yet. Isles, have you?
No, I have not.
Okay. Well, we're going to play this and see how this goes. Maybe we can make this regular segment on our show. So if I can figure out some technology here, I'm going to try to bring in this video right now.
All right.
Hey, everybody. Man with the plan here with your little Packer update. I'll tell you one thing. We are in shit alley right now. Things are not looking good. We need to do something drastic. You know what it's going to be? I personally think what we need to do is trade Rodgers straight up for Justin Jefferson. And we want Z back, too. I love Z. Z. He loves it. Let's get Z back. Let's get Justin Jefferson. Then we're just going to fucking ride J Love all the way to the Super Bowl. That's my advice, TR. Go with it.
Love the advice.
Wow, that was pretty interesting. I haven't thought of that. What is your first take on that, Isles?
It's a little risky. I have a feeling that right now Minnesota at 5-1's probably thinking they got a good thing there right now, even with Cousins. I don't think they're going to be trading off Justin Jefferson for Rodgers. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think any trade takes two to tango. And we're going to see this coming week if the Packers do bust a move and try to get some help at receiver that I think we all agree is desperately needed. So I wanted to ask you, Isles, where do you think the blame lies here with the Packers' struggles?
I really think that it's LaFleur. I really honestly do. I think that, I watched some of the post-game show and Rodgers talking about trying to simplify things, moving things around. I just feel like that we talked about it last week, but the inability to kind of lay the hammer down when things are bad. I was actually pleased during the game, and you probably didn't see this because you didn't see it, but there was a moment where he pulled the offense over and was kind of, had him in a huddle trying to get things going. And I don't think I've ever seen him do that before. So you knew that he knew that something needed to happen. Yeah. But I also love what Higher Point of View said on our show last week, where it's like he needs the ability to go over and scream at the freaking defensive, coordinator or whatever he needs to do, or the special teams coordinator this week, and get things in order, do something to change what is happening, because I feel like it's just week after week after week, whether we've won or we've lost, it really hasn't looked good. And that starts at the top for me.
Okay.
Then it's execution. You know what I mean? People just need to execute better. But what about you?
Yeah, I think the blame goes everywhere. And that blanket statement is vague, I know. But I think you can even go to the level of Gutenkunst,
Yeah.
and his office. Are they not very good talent evaluators?
Yeah.
We know that they rely heavily on that RAS score, the relative athletic score, to draft players. Maybe they're just drafting athletes and not good football players. We know that there's a lot more to football than just raw athleticism. You got to have a head for the game and you have to be smart.
Yeah.
Maybe we have some dumb players going on here.
I got something to share with you from our buddy Harv.
Okay.
Because he sent in and he said, I said, the defense is trying to arm tackle again. It's killing me. He goes, embarrassing. Wilson is the worst QB in the league, and he just beat us on our home turf. Not sure why they didn't run it 1,000 times. They also have 2 good backs. He said, yeah, they're getting the go for the shoulders deal again. And then he says, Quay Walker should be a 3rd stringer. Not sure if he's good enough for special teams. Practice squad? ?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's fighting words from our good buddy Harv, another guy we grew up with.
Yeah.
At this point, Quay is not looking good. He started out the year really good, but it's obvious he is a rookie, and the offenses have seemed to figure out how to take him out.
Yeah.
He seems kind of out of place there, but I have faith that he's going to bounce back and at least throughout the year into next year become a really good NFL player.
Yeah,
I have a lot of hope with that. I want to set the defense aside quick and say the offense. I think a lot of the blame goes to Aaron Rodgers, but mostly that offensive line.
Yeah.
The offensive line is playing like absolute dog shit.
They are playing like dog shit.
People out of position. Royce Newman doesn't belong on the junior high JV squad back here in Minneapolis. So
yeah,
that line is the number one problem, in my opinion. You can try to run the ball 100 times a game, but if that offensive line is going to play like ass, we're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah, I couldn't believe how many times a back, particularly Dylan, seemed to get tackled in the backfield in this game. It was like they weren't like there's a missed assignment, a missed block, whatever. And maybe that does go back to what they're kind of saying about maybe we should just be simplifying things. And, again, Higher Point of View made a great comment last week about how, sometimes people can get so caught up in trying to know their assignment that some of it, you're just not going to know everything, and you just got to be an athlete, be a player, kind of like we do on the golf course, right? Just be an athlete. Just be an athlete.
Yeah, just part of that is reaction.
Yeah.
And when I talk about football smarts, that's what it's about. You just have an instinct for the game, even if the whole assignment in your head goes out the window. You just have a good instinct, a good feel for what's happening in the game, and then you react to it. So we're lacking that everywhere. Offense, defense, everything. So just to tie this all up, I think the blame lies up in the front office. I think the coaches and the players. That is not a good mix, and it does not bode well for the rest of the season. I think it's going to be interesting to see these next few weeks how the Packers bounce back. That's going to reveal a lot to us on what type of team we will be throughout the year.
So, I agree.
Now let's move on to my personal favorite segment, and I think a lot of others' personal favorite. I'm talking about sharpening the knife.
that we call sharpening the knife. Rub, 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 rub.
Isles, what do the Packers need to do to sharpen the knife?
They need to sharpen everything. We need to start at the handle. We need to work the metal. We need to sharpen the whole damn thing. I think the last segment, we just
rub.
rub, rub, 50 times down.
That's
so,
right.
No, I mean, basically what you just said before. I think right at the coach's level, they need to dumb it down. If I'm the head coach, I'm going to figure out what has been working, start there, create simpler plays, make sure that my running backs who are should be making the big plays on offense are getting the ball more, find ways to get them the ball in simple ways. Do whatever you need to do to the line to kind of simplify it there to make it a little bit easier for them to find some room to run. Because last week against the Jets, it's ridiculous. People are getting in the backfield. I'm concerned again about the special teams unit. I don't know if it's like a jinx in their mind or what from the last year, but having a freaking blocked punt again is just like, there was nobody. I don't know if you saw that play on replay, but it was like, who's blocking the guy? I mean, he is just like freelance to the freaking blocker, to the punter.
Obviously, no one.
I agree. Nobody is there. In defense, let's stop the soft zone. Let's freaking man up and we got good players. Let them be good players. That's why pay them the big bucks. And I don't even know. There's like so much shit. I don't even know where to start.
Yeah. But I can't disagree with anything you said, although I would like to disagree with you at times. You're just such a damn good football mind. It's hard to disagree. I will say, in addition to that, I think that the front office has to bust a move and to look outside of the organization for some help, particularly at the wide receiver position.
Yeah.
There is no one on that wide receiver core that worries our opposition whatsoever. Dobbs seems to be able to get open on occasion, but he's a rookie and is probably in the wrong spot. We know how Rodgers loathes that.
Yeah.
So I just think we need to find some help somewhere else and hopefully sharpen the squad a little bit. Yeah. Hopefully we get Sammy back, and everyone needs to take a long look in the mirror and say, what are you going to do to make the Green Bay Packers better? And that includes you and me, Isles.
Yeah. We can be better.
We can be better.
You know who they need is Spider-Man. That's how we saved that Super Bowl season. Yeah. Remember, wasn't it Brooks that went down, and they right away they were like, "Hey, we got a team here. Let's figure it out." And they went and got Andre Rison or whatever.
Rison, Spider-Man. Yeah.
Bad Moon Rison.
Freeman broke his arm midway through the year, or later in the year, and Brooks went down, and they brought Rison in. We need to do something similar to here. Yeah. Do something. That's all I want to say.
Yep. Sharpen the knife.
So once again, everyone, thanks for watching. I want everyone to like, comment, and subscribe. Right now, we're going to have a special guest.
Special guest?
Right now, we're going to have a special guest. Another member of the PackAttack. Unfortunately, our schedules didn't work out, and Niles couldn't be there with the interview at the time that AJ had. So we're bringing in AJ from the PackAttack. I hope you guys enjoy this interview. I got all this money. See, I got all this money. See, this is all tips. This is all tips.
Imagine what my paycheck is.
Imagine what my paycheck is. Imagine what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I wish nothing but the best for you, man. You know that.
Okay, everyone. Thanks for watching. I now have my man AJ with us. How you doing, AJ?
How's everyone doing?
We're doing great here. What's up in Atlanta?
It's cold. It's cold right now. Yeah.
Football weather. I'm getting ready for that.
Oh, yeah.
So let's not waste any time. If for those of you who don't know, AJ is the founding member of the PackAttack, which is a fine group of gentlemen that are committed to making content about the Green Bay Packers. AJ, I want to ask you, what is the genesis of the PackAttack? How did it all start?
So it all started basically, I slowly met each member like one by one. I think it all started with, I think Cage TV was actually the first one I met. But it's funny, I met him first, but I never really talked to him. I would just watch his videos, time to time. Packer Fan of Vegas was actually the first one that I met and started communicating with.
Okay.
And then after that, I slowly started to open up to Cage TV. And those are the two guys I met first. And that was years ago. That was like back in 2019, 2020.
Okay.
And then fast forward to last year is really when I met like a bunch of people. I really started to go out of my way and look for people that made Packer videos. And, I met you. I met Big Nate. I met Higher Point of View. I met all you guys in like a year span.
Wow.
And then after that, I just decided, this year, why not make a group and see if these guys are interested, see if you guys are up for it. And I like to think that we've done a pretty good job so far. So,
yeah. And I want to thank you for bringing me in as the latest edition. I think it's a lot of fun to get a few guys together to talk about Packer football and hopefully do some fun content, and then we can cross promote and do things. So just a reminder to everyone, I want you to make sure that you're subscribing to AJ's stuff. I want you all to subscribe to the rest of the PackAttack, and the links to all their channels will be in the description below.
Yes, sir.
Any plans for the PackAttack that you have in your head, or for the coming year or and beyond?
I just can't wait till like we grow bigger. Obviously, like I want to see. I'm not even thinking about myself. I want to see more like the talented guys grow. I want to see your channel finally hit 100. I want to see Big Nate's his second channel. He already hit 100 in his old one, but I want to see this new one. It's taken him a few months to get it. I want to see him finally hit that milestone, and I want to see Cage TV and Higher Point of View hit 500. It's been a while, so I want to see them finally break the 500. I can't talk.
Yeah, it's okay.
The milestone. I want them to hit it.
Sure.
So.
Sure. I think what's unique about the PackAttack is everyone is completely different. Like our styles are different, the content's different, and we come from all sorts of different places.
Yeah.
Most people know I grew up in the Midwest. I grew up near Green Bay. AJ, you didn't grow up in Wisconsin or Green Bay. So how did you become a Packer fan?
I originally became a Packer fan in 2007. The NFC Championship game versus the Giants.
Okay.
And Brett Favre and that interception, and
don't remind me.
That was my first game. That was my first football game ever, and I just fell in love with the grit. Because at the time, I'm a huge fan of the Keller Green. I love the Keller Green for some reason. Green and red are my favorite colors. But those jerseys, the green and the yellow, I was like, damn, those are some sexy looking jerseys. I think, what was I? I was like 5 or 6 at the time.
Okay.
In 07, something like that. Something around that age. And I was like, wow, those are really nice looking jerseys. And then after that, I just started following the team as I can remember. And I just, as years went on, I started to pay more and more attention, whether that, had to do with stats or players. I started following the team more and more. And then, here we are. I got all this shit up on my wall. I make videos and stuff. So,
yeah, you have quite a collection of collectibles of the Packers. It's quite envious.
Oh yeah,
you got some cool stuff there. So yeah, like a lot of people, we're all impressionable when we're young, so we're drawn to colors and things. But it's really nice to hear that you were drawn to like the tradition of the Green Bay Packers, green and gold. So
yeah,
that's pretty sweet. So some of us want to change the colors or
Yeah.
change the
Yeah, Big Nate's
uniforms.
out of his mind. I could never imagine this team. Never in my life could imagine them without the classic, because it's so iconic. Like, you think of the Packers
is.
jerseys. I don't think there's one jersey in the NFL that's more iconic than the Packers. You can't name one. You can't.
Yeah. You know, I appreciate his point of view, and it makes sense from like a marketing standpoint, but God, you just got to keep the
Yeah,
tradition, right? You know,
exactly.
I can see some like alternative uniforms that they play a couple times a year, but you know,
Yeah.
always keep the
Yeah,
always keep history.
like the Acme Packers. Like, I
Yeah.
love the Acme Packers, but you
Yeah.
know,
Or this old school logo from like
Yeah.
30s or something. But
right.
yeah, big shout out to Big Nate. He's a great guy, and you know, like I said, we all have different ideas and come to things from different points of view. So
Yeah.
all right, on to the next topic, which is how the Green Bay Packers are playing now. I don't want to delve into the stupid Jets game. I don't give a fuck about that anymore. We're past it. We've been sucking. We know that. I want to go and bring up my favorite topic with our guests, sharpening the knife.
That we call sharpening the knife. Now you get the peanuts out.
Yeah.
You pull the skin. A lot of people, they never circumstances.
Yeah.
So they have the skin.
What do the Packers need to do to sharpen the knife this week and beat the Redskins?
Honestly, we can sit here from a fan standpoint, but honestly, it doesn't matter until we finally do it. You know, because we're talking about, oh, we're gonna do this, and the Packers need to do this and that. It doesn't matter until we finally break out and we do it. Because I see like the coaches and the players, you know, in the fucking, you know, the reporting and shit, and they're reporting on them, and they have them in the press conferences, and they're saying shit. It doesn't matter because they say that shit and they don't end up doing it. It doesn't matter until we finally do it. So.
Okay, so you're thinking it really is mostly about execution. It's about
exactly, yeah,
taking the game plan and actually doing what the plan is.
Yeah.
So do you think the coaching staff or the team itself need to adjust how they attack the Commanders? Redskins. I called them Redskins before,
me
and yes,
too.
that was intentional.
Yeah.
What do they need to change, do you think, besides just execute?
Play physical. Like, play 4 quarters of physical football. Like, enough of this pussy shit. Like, go out there and, like, making mental mistakes and stuff. Like, because at that point, the first couple games, yeah, it's mental mistakes. But you go on, like, you're mid-season now, almost. It's more than just mental mistakes, obviously. You can't blame it on, oh, you know, I just fucked up. I had the wrong mindset. It's not just that. It's not just that. Like, you got to go out there and actually want to win. The Packers are not playing like they want to win right now. They're playing like dog shit.
Yeah.
And I know lots of fans differ from, you know, different opinions and what they believe on the team. I solely believe that the Packers just have to start playing more physical, you know?
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, my buddy Isles, who wasn't able to be here for this particular interview, we keep talking about we need to go to Wayne Simmons' grave. We need to dig him up, exhume him, and put him on the defense to bring some nastiness to it, because it really seems like they're missing this attitude. You really want the type of players on defense and on offense that really want to go out and just hit the snot out of the opponents, right?
Yeah.
And it seems like they've been lacking fire. And this is a complaint I think most fans have had for years and years. The Packers just never seem, they seem like a nice team. They don't seem like a mean team. And I think we want a mean team for a change.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We want to go out there. Like I said, you want to be physical. You don't want to be like the same old Packers, you know?
Yeah.
That's never going to work. You want to be a great team. You want to be a team that other teams like, you know, fear and shit. You don't want to be just the Packers. You know?
Yeah. And when we're talking about fire and nastiness, we're not talking about like celebration, dancing, sniffing armpits, doing all sorts of crazy shit, because in the end, that's just wasting energy, right? but we want to see someone hit a motherfucker in the backfield, for instance. We want to see tackles where they hit him and they drop. We're sick of this tackling and being pulled 5 yards down the field like frickin' AJ Hawk or Blake Martinez.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was glad when we got rid of both of them. I was like, thank God.
Yeah.
Blake Martinez, statting his stats, like he would just. The problem with him, he would tackle like 15 yards after the play had already happened, and that's why I got all of his tackles. Like, really?
Exactly. The way when I played, I would call those players pile jumpers. They seem to get the stats just by jumping on the pile at the end.
Well, yeah. Well, that and also, fucking tackles are the most overrated stat because you can literally like touch a player, like even with your finger, and it's a tackle. As long as you touch him, it's a tackle.
Yeah.
So it's the most overblown, overrated stat ever.
Yeah. I mean, on defense, you can blow up a play and not even touch the ball carrier.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
You can stuff a hole. You can take out 2 or 3 blockers at once, and you've completely affected the play. So I totally agree with you that tackles aren't necessarily the be-all, end-all stat. And, I know we're in a stats-driven world, but it gets a little annoying over time. So
well, yeah, and it's also hard because they got new stats coming out every year. It seems like every other year is a new stat. Yeah. Like fucking the past couple of years, like QBR. Growing up, QBR never used to be a thing because I really started paying attention. Like I said, football in 07.
Yeah,
is really when I first got my first glimpse of football. And through the years, I started paying attention to it more and more. QBR was never a thing. Passer rating was never a thing, as far as I can remember. Like, all these things are just, like, suddenly just popped up out of nowhere. Like, they actually mean something. Yeah. Like, they're actually worth a damn. They're not. They're not. I've seen quarterbacks win Super Bowls with shitty QBRs and passer ratings. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, totally. It seems completely arbitrary. It's like you and I can make our own stat up and, and count and quantify it any way we want, and it doesn't mean a damn thing when it comes to winning football games, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anyone's a good player or not, but maybe we should do that as a PackAttack. We should have our own PackAttack grading system.
Yeah.
and
I'm sure we'll figure some stuff out in the future.
That would be hilarious though. And we can come up with our own categories, but that's something we'll talk about during our next stream, maybe. So I want to take this and ask a silly question. Marry, hump, kill. If you had to pick one player to marry, one player to hump, one player to kill, who would it be? Go.
Shit. I think does it have to be players or can it be coaches?
Coach. Pick a coach.
All right,
too.
marry Matt LaFleur. At least, you know what? At least he's a good-looking dude. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gay or anything, but I mean, Matt LaFleur is he's a good-looking dude. I ain't even gonna lie. I wish I looked that good.
Sure.
But, so I think I'd marry Matt LaFleur. Hump. Oh my God. Hump? Shit.
You can skip that if you want.
I ain't humping nobody.
No.
Kill? Who would I kill? Fuck. I think I'd kill Kevin King. Fuck that pussy, man. He fucking cost us that fucking NFC Championship game. Fuck that dude.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, I'd kill Kevin King, man. Fuck him.
Well, it's only fair that I answer this too. So if I had to marry, hump, kill, I'd guess I'd go Aaron Rodgers to marry because he's got the, he's got the
money. Yep.
Yeah, Malibu house. He likes to take ayahuasca and do all that stuff.
Yeah,
I'm game. So hump, I guess. Yeah, like you said, LaFleur. He's the best looking coach in the NFL. I'm married. I love my wife, but if I had to choose, it'd be LaFleur, and I guess kill it would be Royce Newman.
Oh Jesus! Okay.
That dude needs to go. I mean, if you just took him out, then he wouldn't be able to play this week, and we'd know at least that right side would be in better condition because I think anyone could do better than him. Any thoughts on Royce Newman? How he's been playing and the right side of the offensive line? Do you have any?
It's
Thoughts on that?
it's hard to tell because we don't know if he's actually shit or if the rotation is really that bad.
Yeah.
We don't know because Royce Newman, wasn't he good last year? Didn't he play good last year?
He had his moments. He was okay but he was solely a guard last year, right guard.
Right.
So.
Right. So why not put him at right guard? Why not rotate it around? Like I don't even think our offensive line's bad. I just think our rotation's bad. I think we're utilizing players the wrong way than they need to be utilized. And I think that the line as a whole, like you just have players like at the wrong positions where they need to be, the positions that they used to play, they're not playing at them. And I just feel like it's shitty.
I think the offensive line really just needs to, you got to get the right combination of players together. If I were to pick, I would say you would probably go Bakhtiari left tackle, you'd go Jenkins left guard, Myers center, right guard, probably Runyon if he's able to switch from left to right guard. And then I've been hearing that Josh Nijman might be playing right tackle. So it sounds like he's getting ready to be kind of like a full-time player, not just backing up Bakhtiari.
Well, that's good because Nijman is great. He's a great player.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, the way you describe that offensive line is perfect. That's exactly how I would do it, and that's how it needs to be done. We need to stop taking these players that are like, fucking backups and, maybe third-string offensive linemen. We need to stop that. I know players are hurt, and I know the rotation is, shuffling around, but we need to keep it the way it is, and we need to keep it great.
Yeah, I think they've gotten to a habit of trying to play all the linemen at all the different positions. Now, there's some value in that in case you have injuries and need to switch people up during the season, but it really just seems like players are completely out of position, and they just seem lost on their assignments and their even ability to execute those types of drops, and whether it's pass blocking or run blocking. So me personally, I think that's the biggest issue with the Green Bay Packers right now is their offensive line. So one of the last questions I want to ask you, AJ, is besides the offensive line, what do you think is the other major area of concern for the Packers? Offense or defense, coaching, front office, anything? What is the other major point of concern for you?
I think it's got a mixture to do with coaching, but I also think it has to do with the offense. The offense is just so bad that you can put the defense out there all you want. It's not going to help anything. Like the defense, here's something that I'm about to say that a lot of people are going to disagree with. I think the defense has actually played great all year. Besides the Giants game and the Vikings game, forget about those two games. Other than those two games, I feel like the defense has played good all year. The problem is you can only put them out in the field so many times before it just starts to just collapse. Yeah. And I'm talking about collapsing on the defense because the defense has come up with stops. They've come up with 3 and outs for the opposing offense, and then you bring our offense in and they stink up the field. We just see 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, punting the ball back. The defense is going to get tired. Yeah. And we saw Joe Barry make adjustments. What did we say before the Jets game? What did we say before the Jets game? We said we want to see adjustments made. Joe Barry went out of his way and made those adjustments. It was on Matt LaFleur in the offense.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. So, what you're saying is playing complementary football, that it isn't necessarily one position group or one coach in particular. It's more the fact that the offense has to help the defense out. Because the defense is designed to kind of bend, don't break. That's just the system that's in vogue in the NFL, and that's what people play. So if you can get your opponent off the field, you can't turn around on offense and just go quick 3 and outs with like 3 long passes like we witnessed in the Giants game. Because what happens is, as you said, you're going to wear your defense down over the game, and then bad things start happening. People get tired, and it's about complementary football. So let's hope they get their shit together this week.
If we lose to Washington, Washington,
Yeah, I think I think we feel similar. I think if the Packers happen to lose, which I don't believe, I believe the Packers are going to win this game. I think they're going to come back strong. But I think if they would happen to lose this, they're kind of putting themselves behind the 8 ball. They're going to have quite a lot to dig out of, simply because if you look at the remaining schedule, you have some pretty heavy hitters. So
this is like a game we have to win, kind of.
Yeah, because that would put us at 4 losses going into playing the Bills.
Yeah,
that very well could be a loss. So there you're at 5.
This reminds me of that 2018 season. It really does.
Okay, I don't recall off the top of my head the record of that season or how that ended. You?
It was 7-9, I do believe.
Oh, okay. That was the last McCarthy year, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Got fired. Mm-hmm.
Time just freaking flies, and I don't even know what years. What year are we in now, anyway?
2012.
Okay. Well, that's what happens when you get older, young man. So, AJ, I want to really thank you for joining. I wish Isles could be here with you to ask some questions. Next time we have you on, I'll make sure that happens. The hardest thing is just getting people together and getting their schedules worked out.
Well, obviously, yeah.
With that said, is there any last thing you'd like to say to everyone?
Just don't lose to the Commanders. Like, please. We don't want to lose. We don't want to lose to a team that had to change their name.
That's right.
Because we know the liberals hated Redskins.
Yeah,
that's the only reason.
I mean, it's so hard to get it through my head that they're not the Redskins still.
I still call them the Redskins. I don't care. That's their name.
Yeah,
that's their name. You can't erase history. They won 3 Super Bowls under that name, so you can't erase it.
I do agree. I mean, times are changing, but God, people just need to chill out on mascots and things like that. There's, But anyway, that's for a different topic, a different podcast. We are not political here.
Yeah, we're not political. We're not. Fuck the liberals, but we're not.
Yep.
We're not.
Fuck the liberals, but we're not political.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I think we're against social justice warriors. That just gets silly after a while.
Yeah,
but
it's a mixture of both.
Another day, another podcast. So, once again, AJ, thanks so much for joining us. I hope everyone enjoyed this interview, and make sure you engage with AJ and the rest of the PackAttack. Thanks.
Yes, sir.